Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to the Bet Online Salute to Troy podcast. I'm with my man, the CEO, the boss, El Jefe, Ryan Dyrud. How are you doing, Ryan?
What's up, my man? I'm good. It's funny you say El Jefe. I was just in Mexico over the long weekend. I just got back yesterday after sitting at the border for like 7 hours, but we're back home in LA. Excited to talk some Trojan ball. So how you doing?
I'm doing great. You have to get that pass. There's a pass where you could just go right
the
through.
Century Pass.
The Century Pass, yeah. It's worth it. It's worth the money. You have to get it.
Dude, so yeah, if you go more than once a year, even if you go once a year, it's worth it because that borderline is just brutal how long it takes. It gets the whole day is gone. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm doing great. We've been on hiatus. My temporary co-host was in Arizona hanging out, doing big things. But It's all right. He got to go to the Super Bowl. So we're back. We were supposed to record last week. That was on me. Work took over. I still have bills to pay. But that's neither here nor there. Ryan, we're getting into safeties. We're getting into safeties. It's starting to get a little bit hairy now, right? We started off with receivers. Now we're doing safeties. And as we go on, I guess O-line and D-line will be okay. But once we get into running backs and quarterbacks, I think it's going to get I think that's a section where you cannot make everybody happy.
I mean, really, with any of these, you're not going to make everyone happy. I saw a lot of comments after our receivers of, "Oh, you left this guy off. What are you thinking adding this guy?" Which is great. I mean, that's what we want is the discussion. It's the off season, not a lot to talk about, so we love hearing everyone's opinion. Yeah, that's supposed to make these fun. Is everyone has a different opinion.
Right, definitely. And it's just opinion. We're still Trojan fans. It doesn't leave. Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean we dislike them. So we're going to jump right into this thing. Go ahead.
Do you want me to share the poll results of the fans, or we want to do that later?
Oh, yeah. Let's start with the poll results of the fan. I was upset you didn't put me on there. I was also a safety, but I didn't even get a chance to make the poll.
You gave me the list.
You put a whole different list, actually.
I threw on 2 because I knew we were just going to get skewered, even though I knew what you were doing. Like the list you gave me, you were pushing people to select other, but I was like, we got to at least include these 2 guys or everyone's gonna be like, this is not even a legit list without having these 2 safeties on it. So I did add a few that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what I did, you gave me a few, I added my own. Basically we made a poll. We're doing this every week for Salute to Troy, whatever position we are covering. So go to LAFBnetwork.com. We'll have it posted all over social where you can vote and you get a chance to win free merch. So you might as well do it. Who's the best safety? The options we had for this were Troy Polamalu, Darnell Bang, Mark Carrier, Tim McDonald, Ronnie Lott, or other. Obviously some great ones in there.
Let's just get cut and dry. Who won? Troy or Ronnie?
Ronnie Lott by like a landslide.
Really?
Ronnie Lott got 62% of the vote. Troy Polamalu with 23%. Other with 8%. And Carrier, Bang, and McDonald all tied with 3% each.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. I don't think that's – do you think that's surprising? I don't think that's surprising. The other must have been Alfred Rowe.
Or Taylor Mays or somebody like that. But I will say – or Dennis Smith. Dennis Smith is also other option. I will say that I expected Ronnie Lott and Troy Polamalu to be a lot closer. I will say that. And I will even give you a teaser. They're 1 and 2 on my list, but the question is who's 1 and who's 2.
Yeah.
I expected Ronnie and Troy to be a lot closer. I that's close to disrespectful to me. Like that's like no disrespect to Ronnie Lott. And Ronnie Lott was great, right? But man, Troy was the foundation of the early 2000 SC team that put them back on the map. He was on that Orange Bowl team that beat Iowa. Like Troy was great. Troy was really good. So, wow. All right. Getting into it. Number 11, all-time safety. We're only doing 10, but number 11, Alfred Rowe out of Long Beach Poly High School. Thank you very much, folks.
Whoop, whoop.
No, hey, but I will tell you this. There are 2 people on this list that went to Long Beach Poly High School.
There you go. Not including Alfred Rowe or including Alfred Rowe?
Not including Alfred Rowe. Alfred Rowe is just a kickoff guy. He got his stats on kickoff. Not including Alfred Rowe. There's 2 people on the list that went to Long Beach Poly High School. So
hey, Matthew Slater has made a Hall of Fame career in the NFL just on kickoff. So,
well, yeah, I understand. If I would have had the opportunity to go and be a special teams guy, I would have loved going to the Pro Bowl just to cover kickoff. Now I wouldn't have to do anything but the challenge. Like I just get to go and do the skills challenge, and I get the Pro Bowl bonus. Like, geez, like man, I did like the Pro Bowl, but that's for another. I like what they're doing now. It's more competitive, actually, and it's more entertaining to watch, in my opinion. It's better than what the NBA put on TV the other night. But
yeah, exactly.
All right, number 10. I actually had the opportunity to play with this guy. He was actually a great mentor. He played really good football. 4-year Trojan. He put up good numbers. I've seen him make big plays when you needed to make big plays. He wasn't a household name as far as media, but if you were a Trojan fan, you knew who this guy was. Hometown kid. Like most of these guys. He went to Redondo Union High School. I think my 10th all-time safety that played at USC is Kevin Ellison.
Yeah, I like that. How many years did you play with him? 1 year?
2. 2 years with Kevin Ellison.
So what made him a mentor to you? It's a great pick, by the way. What made him like a great mentor to you?
Like, so I changed positions. So I moved from linebacker in high school and went to safety. And just learning the playbook and learning a new technique was a lot. He taught me how to slow the playbook down because it was something new every day. And he taught me how to slow the playbook down. And he's like, you can't learn it all. You just have to learn what the 4 of us are doing. And the rest will take care of itself. And I was like, oh. So once I learned what the 4 were doing, it kind of got better for me. But the technique thing was – go ahead.
When you played / when Ellison played, were the DBs all grouped together? Like, was there a DBs coach or was there a safeties coach and a corners coach? Because every team does a little different.
It was
grouped with the corners.
Yeah, we were all together. All the DBs were together, and we had a DB coach, and then we had a GA that helped.
Gotcha.
So that's that one.
Local kid, Redondo High, baby.
Yep, Redondo Union High School. I have so going on to number 9, and when you kind of think of it, we got a father-son duo on the list.
Yep.
So when you go number 9, I'm not going to go with Pops. I'm going to go with Son. But he was really good. I do like him, and he was there in the down years. And, like, those dog years. Every time I talk about the down years, it kind of reminds me of what the Buffalo GM said. Like, in order for Cincinnati to get good, they had to have a lot of lean years. And there were a lot of lean years at SC. But this kid played good football. Yeah, this kid played good football, and he made a name for himself. And he did have a good lifeline in the pros, but he popped off the screen defensively. And I'm gonna go with TJ McDonald. I think TJ was. It's just tough, man. They were there tough. It was tough when they were there, but I think TJ was there towards the end of violation years. Like he got there when the tie was over. He was there for violation years, but he still played good football, man. And like I said, when you pop off the screen, I mean, that's just a thing that's just natural to you. Like, you know who TJ McDonald is.
Yeah. Those teams, like, I have so much respect for because they went or stayed. I know obviously transfer rules were very different back then, but went and stayed on a team that they knew they could really collegiately in terms of BCS bowl, like could do nothing. And they still stayed there for pride, for passion for SC, for wanting to stay close to home. And, you know, obviously a lot of those guys still went on and had great NFL careers, but I have a lot of respect for those kids and those teams, especially, and I'm definitely not anti-transfer portal. It's a different world we live in now. And, you know, like with everything in life, you kind of have to adapt and things change. And a lot of people hate the transfer portal. A lot of people love it. A lot of people are indifferent. I'm kind of one of those in the middle, like, hey, that's how it is now. Deal with it. But I think it's you got to give a lot of credit to those kids that, didn't really have that option and stuck through it. And guys like TJ McDonald that still put the tape out there that they balled out and went on and were able to play in the league and stuff. So yeah, it's a great guy at 9.
Let me clear the transfer portal up for you. The transfer portal is a gift. It's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse. If you are a guy that's been there, redshirt sophomore year, you're lost in a wash, you're not going to play at your school, why not go try somewhere else? I'm totally for that. You've been there for 3 years. You got 2 more years to play. Go get in the portal, try somewhere else, and maybe that works for you. That system works for you. You know what I mean? But if you're a freshman and you're mad that you didn't play your freshman year and you transfer, that's the issue I have with the portal. But especially if you're a quarterback, go try. Go get go get some reps somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Well, here's like what it comes down to for me, and this is a fun topic. A lot of people are like so anti the portal. There's some podcasts out there that get into like heated debates about the portal. For me, I'm all for how the portal is set up now. I like that it's available though. It's basically like free agency. It basically evens out. It leaves the decision to the athletes, to the parents, because I'm always the guy and I'm not saying or not trying to get political or anything, but just in general in life, like you have to have responsibility for yourself, whether it comes from your parents when you're a young teenager or once you're a grown man and you have to take ownership of what you want to do for your life. And now this gives you ability to make decisions for yourself and decide. Now, sometimes these kids make the wrong decision and they, like you said, they're a freshman, they're pouting because they got beat out and they go and transfer and then they transfer again and it never works out for them because that's on their own, but that's their decision. They made it. They live with the consequences of it. But guys like, I'll give an example. This is in high school, but just like comparing to myself, I was not going to go and play high school ball, Alfred. You've seen me. I'm 5'7", 145 pounds wet. Like my max in high school, I weighed like 165. So I had no shot at going to play college ball. But that being said, I worked my ass off all through high school, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. I was always the first one in the gym, one of the last ones out, went to all they call them, what are they? Not mandatory, but
voluntary,
optional. Yeah. Or optional off-season workouts, but it was voluntary, but it was mandatory. If you didn't show up, you weren't. But I had all of those, obviously. I had finally, my junior year, won a job on varsity as a special teamer, but also as the slot receiver, right? Mm-hmm. Like worked my tail off to get to that point. Week 1, playing Ponderosa High School, right after week 1. So going into week 2, kick return in practice, snap my collarbone in half. I'm out 8 weeks. When I come back, buried in the depth chart, my OC, I'm not one of those people that ever talks bad about people. So he was a good person, but for some reason, just like I said, I was 5'5", 5'6" in high school. We had a receiver my same age who was 6'4". I don't want to say I was better than him, but I was faster. I had better hands. I ran better routes, just didn't have the size. He always opted to the size. So in that instance, if that was college, I could have been like, all right, I'm never going to play on this team. Like this guy wants taller athletes. I've worked my butt off. I got hurt now. So now I'm buried. So I could have then gone and said, hey, I'm going to start fresh somewhere else. I can talk to a coach that says, hey, I want to come to you, but I'm only coming if I'm playing. And usually that's how it goes. So all that long-winded story, Alfred, is to say that I like the transfer portal because it puts the ownership with the players. And if they make a bad choice, that's on them.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I think we should have a crossover podcast, the State of the Union of College Football. We could get a lot of opinions.
Yeah, doesn't even have to be a crossover. Just go to Troy and get a bunch of people on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll put it out there. I like that. Good deal.
Let's get a bunch of old athletes. Get all your buddies on.
I could do that. That's easy. Yeah. All right. So before I know we just took a little break, but I want to let you know, Ryan, Super Bowl last week. I wanted to put a bet in, not just any bet, prop bet. I wanted to hit the Gatorade and the national anthem. I lost both of them, but I was able to do it with Bet Online. Went on Bet Online, put in my prop bet. I, for some reason, thought it was going to be red Gatorade because the Chiefs. I wanted the Chiefs to win. Red Gatorade Definitely was not Greg Gatorade. And I thought the national anthem would be longer because Chris Stapleton was singing. He's a little soulful. I thought it was going to carry over. Took the over. Didn't win. That's all right.
Oh, it was
That's
close.
A part of gambling.
It was like that close.
Yep. But I had the opportunity to do it with Bet Online. You guys want to be a part of it, go to betonline.ag. betonline.ag. Put in code BELIEVE. That's, I always spell it wrong. That's BELAV. Right?
Nope.
BLEAV. It's at the bottom of the screen also. You can go on your mobile device and your computer. You can start today. They'll match 50%. That's BLEAV. That's Believe. 50% welcome bonus. It came at the bottom of the screen at just the right time. I will tell you guys a funny story. I put the promo code in. I sent it to Roman. Hey, heads up, it doesn't work. Hey, you spelled it wrong, dude.
So make sure you spell it right.
Make sure you spell it right. Bet Online where the game starts. All right, we're at number 8. Moving along. First Long Beach Poly guy to make the list. Got to wear Mike Garrett's number. If you're an SC fan, you know this story. Went to Mike Garrett, said, hey, I want to wear your number. Mike Garrett said, yeah, you're 6'4", 220 pounds. You can run. You can hit. Go ahead and do it. He was a part of the start of the wins. So when it started turning around, he was a part of that phenomenal Long Beach Poly class, Herschel Dennis, Mercedes Lewis, and all those guys. Outstanding guy. I think he would have had a shot in today's NFL as a linebacker, but back then when they moved to linebacker, then it really didn't work. He'll excel today as a linebacker. I actually still talk to this guy to this day. Great dude. He was actually also a good mentor because we same high school, same college. I could call him right now, ask him anything. He's doing very well with his life. Number 8, Darnell Bing. Big Darnell Bing fan. I thought Darnell Bing was great. He did everything he was supposed to do. He lived up to the Mike Garrett. Wearing number 20, got a chance to wear a retired number. Darnell Bing's my number 8.
Love Darnell Bing. Yeah. I mean, great pick for number 8. Great career at USC. Yep. Was on that national title team, right? With, in 04. Was he there 03 and 04?
I think he was there 03. No, he was there 03. Yep. He was there 03. He was there 03 season because my freshman year in high school was 2002. So he's there 03. Yep. He left my freshman year. So he's there for both of them.
So he was there for the Michigan national title and the Rose Bowl, and the Oklahoma national title, and was there probably against, the Rose Bowl loss against Texas. But great player. I had the great honor of meeting Darnell officially in person less than a year ago. I got invited by my good buddy Frosty Rucker. There was like this at a basketball game at USC last year, like 20 USC football alum went to just go hang out, and Frosty invited me for whatever reason. So I got to meet Darnell. Everyone was nice, but Darnell Bing was definitely just like super engaging, inviting, wanted to know about me and my life, what was going on, even though I was just the random non-player there. So nothing but good things to say about Darnell. It's super cool. You still talk. You got to go on the show, bro. If you could call him right now, he should be on the show once a week.
I can get him on. And he's kind of upset with me because we were supposed to go golfing and we haven't been golfing yet. He hit me up like, man, when are we going to go golfing? So,
bro, I talked to him about golfing at the game. So let's get a threesome and let's get out there.
I'll hit him up. We could do that. Great dude. He's a great person.
Great.
What you say?
He lives in well, I'm not going to say where he lives, but
he lives out by me. He lives out by me.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go play like Champions Club or something. Why not? Get out there. Those nice Corona courses.
Yeah, you just said it. I mean, you're not going to say where he lives.
I didn't say he lived there. I was just saying out there.
Yeah, that's
true. Champions Club close, I think. We can play Eagle Glen.
Yeah, that's a good one. I want to play that one. But, yeah, great dude. I love that dude. He was a really good dude. All right, moving on. Number 7. So, this is where it starts to get hard for me.
Yep.
Because these dudes start to get really good.
I mean, you basically from here on, Alfred, you have 1 and 2 that are a given, but they're interchangeable, and then you have 3 through 7 where you could rank them kind of any which order.
Right, and I can, and so this is what I did, and so this one was close for me between 7 and 8, but I mean, I can't take anything with him. This dude went on great career in Miami. He played on that underachieving Dolphins team as a safety. This dude was just a flat out baller. He'll hit you. My thing is, like, when I watch film on him, he's one of the best dudes to get off the hash to the sideline. And that's like one of the best talents you can have as a safety. So number 7 for me, Sammy Knight.
Yep.
Big time guy. It was close between him and Darnell. Like, I mean, he belongs there, but like the names we're going to get into after this list, I don't think he was that good to start being with these names, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Sammy Knight, it's like the next step, the next tier. Great career. Obviously, this list is based solely on their college career with USC, but went on and had success in the NFL as well. Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I get what you're saying, having him at 7, because it is like the next kind of, it's a small step, but it's the next step up.
Right. So, I mean, it is what it is. You don't have to love me for it, but I like that pick, and we're going to move there. We're going to get to number 6 real quick. Number 6 completes the father-son duo. This dude, flat out baller, made his son, put his son in an awkward situation, had big shoes to fill. I think he was disappointed in his other son because he went to UCLA, right? Mm-hmm. So he had 2. One went to C1, he went to UCLA. But this guy, hometown kid, all these guys are hometown kids, right? They're all from California, and that's how you win, I believe. But big time player in the 80s. Everybody knew who he was. Fly around, hit you, pick king. Pops of the group out of the father-son bunch. Tim McDonald is my number 6. And it's close, right? You say it, this and that. But these top 5, I'm telling you, when I start naming these top 5, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't go wrong with him. Tim McDonald, great pick. Like I said, when we did the fan poll vote, finished with a 3%. So in that, still got votes, finishing as the top. That was for the best safety in USC history. So obviously has some love there from Trojan fans, and did some really good things, with the Trojans. And obviously you can tell the bloodline with his sons both playing, and his other, his son at USC making the list in general. So, played 13 seasons, I believe, in the NFL as well. So very, very strong NFL career, and, did a lot of great things at USC. 2nd round pick, which says a lot about what he was able to do in college. And obviously as we go up, these will be higher round picks, but anything, round 3 and up shows you had a really good collegiate career, and did a lot of really good things. So Tim McDonald, great pick at number 6.
All right, here we go. Number 5. I think this might be my first debatable pick. There were some bias because he was my roommate, but he played football. He played fast. He was a specimen. He was a beast. My freshman year roommate, we were roommates in Summer Bridge, and we were roommates during the season. He went from 29 to 2. I will actually tell you a story. We were playing Washington, I think, at home. I don't remember who we were playing at home. We were playing somebody at home. He caught a pick. He was on ESPN, and I didn't realize it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I ran in the room, and I was like, hey, you made ESPN. We were freshmen. He was like, bro, I'm asleep. And then I was like, oh, shit. He woke up. He was like, so I made ESPN, huh? So it's kind of a big deal. Number 5, class of 2006, Taylor Mays, out of Bishop O'Day High School in Seattle, Washington.
Yep.
Big Taylor Mays.
Great career. It's probably the best. Try to think, like the best, most recent safety in Trojans history, right? I'm trying to think of anyone that's come out. I think he's probably the top safety as of late, even though it was, we're pushing almost 20 years, but I can't think of anyone else in the last 20 years that would be above Taylor Mays.
Oh, I got one who's coming, and he got 2 more years. His name is Caleb Bullock, and he's a dude.
Well, yeah, but not yet. He'll be on this when his career's done, for sure.
Yeah. He was
just rated the number one returning safety in all of college football by PFF.
Yeah, he's only a freshman, right?
He just finished his sophomore year, so true sophomore.
So we only have
junior next year.
Oh, this is his last year. That's unfortunate.
It's last year. He'll go to the pros after that. Ball hawk, and needs to get his tackling a little better, but I think a lot of those missed tackles at the end of games were more trying to just, cause fumbles. And,
right.
That's teachable. So. But anyway, he'll be.
I will say this.
Yeah,
it was definitely a caution sign if you're going across the middle playing with Taylor Mays. I'll tell you that much because he was lights out. The post did not work when you played against Taylor. So big time. True story. He was my roommate. I seen this man devour a whole pizza and some chicken wings in like 30 minutes and a 2-liter soda. We used to say he was made in a factory. That was a different dude. He was just a giant, but great man, great dude, great family.
You still keep in touch with him?
I have not talked to Taylor in a long time. He's actually coaching at SC, though. I've seen him on TV. I need to reach out and get in touch with him.
Yeah, he's around. I've seen he's around. So, but yeah, great career. Perfect for the top 5. I see a lot of lists that'll have him at like 10. But I think 10's too low. I think 5.
Because it's DBs all together. These are just safeties.
A lot of lists. So,
before we get to the big dog, go ahead, Ryan.
I was gonna say it's gonna be tough fitting in. Someone's getting left out, I think, with these remaining 4. But I'll go ahead.
All right. Before we get to that, man, hey, you said you were feeling a little bit under the water. It wouldn't make you feel better, but I could have helped you boost your immune system. I bet you stopped taking your athletic greens to help boost your immune system. That's what happened. I did not stop taking my athletic greens. My immune system is boosted, and I feel full during the day, and it gets me through that 3 o'clock wall. But for me, it's more like the 12 o'clock wall because I'm in at 5:30 in the morning, and I have energy throughout the day. The best part about it is it tastes good. It's not chalky, and it's all good. Right now, it's the time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop of cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is giving you 1 free year of immune support, vitamin D, and 5 travel packs. So you can take it anywhere you have to go for vacation. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/salute to Troy. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/salute to Troy to take ownership over your health and pick up your daily nutritional insurance. Athletic Greens. So, top 4 safeties overall and USC history brought to you by Salute to Troy Podcast Bet Online. YouTube is going to go nuts at the comment I am about to make. They're going to go nuts. But go watch his film. Watch this man play. He played in your hometown as a pro. There's the first hint. Played in your hometown as a pro. The hardest hitting safety in USC history. The hardest hitting safety in USC history. He will clean your clock. He will destroy you. He was hitting people at the line of scrimmage, running from 20 yards back, terrorizing people. He was a Denver Bronco. Yep. You know who I'm talking about now, huh?
Oh, I knew. Yeah,
the number 4 all-time safety, the hardest hitting safety. If you don't believe me, look up Dennis Smith's film. Just look up his highlights. Everybody's going to say Ronnie Lott. Go look at Dennis Smith's highlights, Ryan. This man was a car crash waiting to happen. And he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
Car crash waiting to happen. I think
Dennis.
Go ahead.
I was just say Dennis Smith's an absolute beast, absolutely top 4. First team All-American in 80, first round pick, 15 overall when he went to the pros. I mean, the stats speak for themselves, but like you said, the guy just terrorized receivers, running backs, whoever. The fact that him and Ronnie Lott were on the field together has to be the greatest safety tandem of all time. And when he goes to the pros, I think the most underrated safety tandem of all time was him and Steve Atwater with the Broncos, who were both hard-hitting safeties back when safeties could hit back in the day. So Dennis Smith, absolute baller, definitely top 5.
Yeah, I think a lot of his career got overshadowed, and you have to be here we go. I'm testing people now. You have to be a true USC fan to understand how good Dennis Smith was. because everybody remembers Ronnie Lott, but they don't remember Dennis Smith until you turn on the film and he's like, oh, who is that?
And just like the pros, everyone remembers Steve Atwater, and a lot of them forget Dennis Smith. Obviously, their careers weren't all together because Atwater came later in Dennis Smith's career. But yeah, he was always like, he would have been on 98% of teams in college and the pros, the top defensive back in the entire roster, but his whole career played with Ronnie Lott in SC and then play with Atwater at the Broncos. He was like a tier 2, even though he wasn't. But yeah, he was so good. He made those safeties better because of how good he was, obviously.
Right, 100%. Like, yeah, they're gonna go crazy in the comment section. They're gonna be like, "What? I challenge you. Just go look up his stat. Go look up his highlights. Go look up his highlights and watch this man hit people." This man was a human cart crash.
You think people will think he should be lower?
I think people, when I say he's the hardest hitting safety in history, people are going to say Ronnie Lott because Ronnie Lott was always put in front of him until you actually go see Dennis Smith and you're like, oh my God. Like, so that's how that goes. All right. We're in the bulk of it. Top three. Our very first Thorpe Award winner. Not only is he a Thorpe Award winner, he's a Long Beach Poly graduate. Legendary Long Beach Poly graduate. This man was magnificent at USC. He was magnificent at Poly. They said he looked like he was 30 in 10th grade, but he just transferred in. He transferred right in to USC and did everything he did. Won the Thorpe. About average pro career, but that doesn't matter because what he did at USC, he just certified that Long Beach Poly USC pipeline. Number 3 all-time safety for USC, Mark Carrier.
Yep. Wondering where he'd fall on your list. He, in our fan poll, came in tied again for 4th with Darnell Bing and McDonald with 3% of the vote, but legendary Trojan, probably all decades team, I'm sure, and did a lot of good things. I'll let you speak on it more, but I think do this because I think a lot of, especially YouTube listeners, and I'm not saying anything bad, but a lot of people are younger generation listening. So speak to what made Mark Carrier so good and maybe drop some knowledge on people that have no idea even who Mark Carrier is.
All right, so this is why Mark Carrier separated himself during the time he played, because at that time, safety was most likely another running back because the run game was so prevalent back then. Mark Carrier was, oh boy, do I say most skilled? I wouldn't say most skilled, but he was able to play the run and the pass. That's what separated him and made him a Thorpe Award winner. Like, he was able to play run and pass like off the hash. He was another guy off the hash. He was a guy who could play center field like Willie Mays. Like, he separated himself completely in that game, which made him different. And that's how you win awards like that. Like, you have to separate yourself, and that's what he did. So, like, that's another thing. We got opportunity. Google Mark Carrier. Just look him up. Long Beach Poly High School. Best high school in the nation for athletics. Look that up too. Sports Illustrated said it twice.
How long ago? How old was that article?
Man. One of them was while I was there, and that like sophomore year. So it was like 2004, 2004, something like that.
I mean, I love Long Beach Poly, and it's unfortunate that now the prowess of like the Trinity League with recruiting has definitely hurt teams like the public, like Centennial and Corona, like Long Beach Poly, who are still very, very good. But I mean, when you're essentially able to recruit like Modern Day and St. John Bosco can, it definitely makes things challenging. But in terms of historically, Poly's got to be one of the top California high schools of all time for sure.
Jackrabbits, If you have a governing board that prevents recruiting, why are you letting certain schools recruit? But that's neither here nor there. That's another show. That's another show. All right. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. We'll do this. Give me your 1 and 2, and I'll give you my 1 and 2.
All right. I mean, you can go either way. It should be very close. But when it's said and done, at the end of the day, I had to go Troy Polamalu 2, Ronnie Lott 1. Both were dominant in their era. Both were leaders on their defense. Both statistically had the crazy numbers all throughout their careers. Both are going to be in the Hall of Fame, or both already all in the Hall of Fame. But it's close, but I got to go Ronnie Lott.
Number 2 is Ronnie Lott, and number 1 is Troy Polamalu.
You just want to debate, okay?
No. I'll tell you why. You why. And if you could counter it, for what I say, then I'm all ears. Ronnie Lott set the standard for the USC Safeties. We could say that. When you think USC Safeties, you think Ronnie Lott. Troy Polamalu surpassed it. Troy Polamalu passed that standard as a USC safety. You have to understand, when Troy Polamalu there, USC was down. He came and set the standard again for USC safeties. He came and set the standard for USC. Like, he became a household name because of the way he played. He's probably the hardest playing player I've ever seen, in my opinion. Like,
yep.
So Ronnie Lott, it's kind of like the Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, MJ thing. Like, it could be either or. But in my opinion, Ronnie Lott set the standard, and Troy was like, all right, Ronnie, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to surpass it. And our grandkids would know Troy Polamalu before they'll know Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, but that says more about how we teach our grandkids than who's better.
Right. Well, my grandkids would know about both, but I'm just saying, like,
yours better. Yeah, yours better.
the average person, the average person, their grandkids would know about Troy before they know about Ronnie.
For sure. But that's like saying nowadays the average sports fan doesn't know who Bill Russell was. Bill Russell,
right.
11 rings in the NBA, one of the greatest of all time, but just because they don't know about him doesn't mean he wasn't great. I get what you're saying, for sure. Because of what Troy did, not just for the USC, but for LA, and changed kind of the identity of what safeties can be in mainstream media also, with the hair, the Head and Shoulders commercials, how he jumped the line of scrimmage. It's a fun debate. You look at Ronnie Lott's senior season, 8 interceptions his senior year. I mean, and he's the hard hitting, and he has all the tackles for loss. I mean, that's tough to beat just in a single year. He had, 8 from a safety standpoint, but I get it. You can go either way.
I mean, you actually can go either way. I just think, man, I don't know. I just think that Troy, like, I think that I just think that he passed Ronnie Lott up. Like, we can't. And I'm also a fan of, like, records are made to be broken, right?
Totally.
So, like, we can't always go. Ronnie Lott's always going to be the best. It's always going to be the best. Like, we have to be realistic. I think Troy passed Ronnie Lott up. And I mean, he finished college 278 tackles, 29 tackles for loss, 6 interceptions. He blocked 4 punts and he had 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
The stats are really close. Like, you're right. It can't be Ronnie, and I wouldn't argue if somebody said Ronnie Lott is number 1. So I'll clear that up. If you're like, I got Ronnie Lott over Troy, I'm like, I respect that. But me, I got Troy, and I'm gonna go with Troy. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that can't. It doesn't make you look crazy if you pick one or the other as 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, stats, they're so close. Tackles are a wash almost. You said Troy had 3 touchdowns?
4, I think it said.
Yeah, Ronnie, I think, had 2. Interceptions is the big discrepancy. Ronnie had 14 total interceptions in his 3 years. Yeah, I mean,
Troy
really
had 6.
6, and yeah, Ronnie had 14. So decent discrepancy there. But, when it comes down to it, it's kind of who you like more. They're both going to be 1A, 1B in terms of greatest safeties of all time. And I think here's what I will say to your point is Ronnie Lott created the identity of the safety for USC, like you said. but he also got to play alongside a guy like Dennis Smith, who we just talked about 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Who it makes it your job a lot easier when that's your counterpart. Also had other great defensive backs play alongside him as well. Troy, I'm trying to remember, there was some great defenses from the linebacking position, but in terms of secondary, I think he was much more the only focal point. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm probably forgetting someone, but you had some all-timers at linebacker. You had some great defensive linemen, but I think from DB perspective, there were still good players, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there wasn't a talent like Dennis Smith alongside him. So to your point there, that's where Troy Polamalu kind of separated himself, being the face of that secondary, whereas Ronnie Lott had those counterparts. But I'll still go Ronnie, I agree. But it's close.
Definitely. That's I agree. No, and like you said, like it's 1A, 1B, 1B, 1A, however you want to look at it. They're still great. Like, you know, if it's those dudes, watching those dudes plays was pretty amazing. So there's no argument there.
We want to know what all you guys think. For those who didn't vote before, so text Trojans, the word Trojans, to 31032. Let us know who you think is the best safety of all time. Or hit us up on Twitter. What is it? At Coach_Row2 or at Ryan Dyrud LAFB. So gotta hear from you guys or just comment.
Yeah. You can also leave a comment. I like the comments. I'll reply to your comment too. One guy got all pissed off. I was like, I'm happy he went to SC. I'm like, happy you're a Trojan fan. Fight on. Leave a comment. I'll reply. Like, you know what I mean? So that'll be great. Ryan, this has been fun. Let's pick right now. What do we got next? We're going back to the offensive side. It's either offensive line, running backs, or quarterbacks. I mean, how do you want to go?
I feel like we got to save quarterbacks. So let's go running backs, which can be really hard. RBU for a long time there.
Running backs. There's a lot of running backs too. There's a lot of running backs. So definitely. Yeah. All right. We'll do running backs. We'll get the list up. We'll get the list up. Ryan, it's been great. It's always a good one. I enjoy it, man. Got another list out. All season, we're making it through. Ryan Dyrud, he is the guy. He has LAFB. He has, I forgot, LA Confidential, right? What is the name of it?
LA Football Podcast.
LA Football Podcast. There you go. Him.
LA Confidential is our guy Chauncey.
I got you.
Who you always like to argue with on Slack.
Hey, there's a difference. There's always. I actually helped Chauncey out. I'll tell you about that off air. But there's him and the Madman got something going. So it's always been good. Thank you guys for joining. Like we said, text. Give them the number again, Ryan.
Text Trojans to 31032.
Respond to us on Instagram, on Twitter, Ryan Dyrud LAFB, Coach_Row2, or leave a comment. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to hit the subscribe so you don't miss anything that happens with the old LAFB network. We're here all year. It's been a pleasure. Ryan, have fun. You know how to go. Live free. Fight on. Thank you guys.